Hey folks, welcome back to Let's Play Nobunaga's Ambition, Sphere of Influence. I'm the mysterious JG. Unless this is Rise to Power, but I think it's Sphere of Influence. Yes, it's Sphere of Influence. It's right there on the screen. Alright. Iron Triangle I thought was a cool name too. So yeah, you know the score. If you watched the last video, we're trying to quickly take Iwamura Castle before... You'd think the Oda would stop us, but they are shell-shocked by the shellacking that they took. They've lost 2 of their cities and their allies, the Matsudaira, except for that one Matsudaira castle, which again, they don't seem to be going out of their way to save. But we attacked the Oda. We were trying to attack the Matsudaira. The Oda tried to defend them. That drew us into war with the Oda. But in fact, the people who've been pissing me off the most, really, well, the Azai are jumping in and getting themselves involved, but it's the Satake over here and the Uesugi. We need to deal with these guys. The Satake, what they're doing is weird and trolly, and I'm kind of... They're not... Like, I can't go deal with them without dealing with the Hojo, and I don't need to deal with the Hojo right now. I need to deal with the... I need to march west and take Kyoto and make Shingen the Shogun. Shingen the Shogun sounds pretty cool. And that's the Uesugi, really. So the Oda and then the Azai are kind of where we need to deal with first. Then we'll probably either have to get the Rikaku to join us or just crush them. Because ultimately we got to take Nijo Palace, and a lot of these local clans here are not going to be happy. No one is going to be welcoming us with open arms into the neighborhood. Let's put it that way. So for now, let's finish off the Matsudaira and absorb 18 pretty high quality officers overall.
Allow us to help.
Oh, now we got the tribals helping us. We're running low on food. It's another reason to be aggressive. And damn it, they're doing it. It's Oichi, isn't it? That's who it was off screen. This tiny little unit commanded by Oichi is just going to come try to harass us. And we can't have Shingen just cross over this way because he'd end up in combat with a bunch of Oda troops if he tried to go just the fastest route. He's got to, like, come up through the mountains to get up here. But anyway, this castle's got 1633 health. We're going to have, like, nothing left. I guess we could pull him off to fight. No, I don't think that's a good idea, though. I think that'll draw out the Oda. Oh, yeah, this is the thing that we need to see. Okay, so it's going to be save slot 2. Is where we're doing something I wouldn't normally do. It's a bit of save scumming, but I want to tell the right story here with Froxis Neeloc. And apologies, I actually did. I kind of lost my mind. Froxis Neeloc is one of really only 2 characters who's doing role-playing in the comments. So like a few videos back when I didn't recall that was kind of random. There's not that many to keep track of. Let's decide what to do with the captives. You can see the circles are the people who will join us. And right now, we can get Hanbei Takanaka, who's probably the most... He's definitely the most useful officer here, other than Froxis herself, who's an overpowered created officer. We can get Hidesada Hayashi. I don't remember who he is. I thought for a minute he was like, oh, he might be Hideyoshi's... Oh, it's like Hidesada. But yeah, we can get all these guys to join us, but let's ask Froxis Neeloc and see what happens. With the Oda clan still alive and well, I can't serve a new master. Okay. So we can get these 4. Please select who to execute. Well, she left the Oda, or she left the Takeda and joined the Oda, and we got her back, and she's offered the chance, come back to where you truly belong. Your mistakes will be forgiven. You know, you had a lapse of judgment. We know that in your heart you were always with the Takeda. And she says no. She refuses. So, like, I've got Colin Awari Sanada in the comments, or rather, it's not Colin Awari Sanada. In the comments, Kylan Lancaster is saying Colin Awari Sanada is pleading Shingen to forgive, to be merciful. Well, the problem is that in this game, you don't have the option to imprison people like you do in Romance of the Three Kingdoms. I don't really know why. I feel like it's an intentional design choice, but because typically if a samurai is captured, he's going to kill himself. It's a little bit... It all gets confused when you bring in female officers actually commanding troops, because that's not actually how it really worked. And the female samurai had different rules. They had honor codes they had to follow. They would certainly kill themselves under certain circumstances to preserve the samurai honor of their clans, but they didn't follow the same exact Bushido code as men did. There were differences in the codes for men and women. But what we've got is, yeah, like if we're just treating her like a regular military officer, she kneeled before another lord, but then she was captured and brought back, and now she refuses to surrender. So Shingen hasn't executed anyone yet in this game. Shingen was not a particularly nice guy in all respects. Shingen exiled his father and took over the Takeda clan while his father was still alive, and left him to live in exile. So he wasn't like, and he did similar things like plotting against members of his own family. Shingen wasn't Mr. Nice Guy. He was a pretty sneaky bastard. But he was always doing it with, the intention of, he usually had wise reasons for doing it. It wasn't just out of pure sadism or anything. But if, he's made a point of, I always release officers so you can get them later. Show that you have this magnanimous spirit and are, the old Chinese saying for Romance of the Three Kingdoms that kept coming up, the wise bird chooses a firm perch, just as the wise man chooses a good master to serve. Yeah, Shingen is trying to present himself as someone who is going to show favor to those of talent who admit their fault and come to serve. But if somebody defects, you can't be sparing that person. That's showing weakness. So you got to kill Froxis Neeloc in this situation. Now, we've got Colin Lancaster's asking for mercy, but I mean, if I release her, I can still get her back. I just have to conquer the entire Oda clan first. And you could create a headcanon that, oh, she's spying against the Oda for us. No, she refused to join. Meanwhile, there's somebody, Michael Roth, is in the comments making the suggestion that, and I think Michael Roth, I'm responding to your comment, but I think you just misunderstand what's happening here, saying, what, instead of just executing her, you send her off on a suicide mission, send her off with a small number of troops, and make an attack. It's no, she's not going to be an officer we can give orders to. That's the problem is not what do I do with her now that she's I guess I made it sound like because she defected I wouldn't offer her a chance to return, we would execute her. That's not it. The problem is we offer her the chance to come back where she belongs and she refuses. So Froxis dies in this reality. I shall gratefully serve under you. Here's the guy who captured her, by the way. I will be avenged! My grandfather I've been writing those letters to! Thank you very much. We'll show you blah, blah, blah. So we're not going to do that. We're going to go back. Because what I think I've discovered is there's a random factor in who will and will not turn. Because I just waited till March. The other thing, but I think more importantly, I believe what really happens is there's a minimum length of time that an officer can serve a clan before they'll defect. I think that's built in. Because there are, I almost never use them because they cost a lot of gold and they never seem to work for me, but there are tactics where you can use an officer to sow discord and to lower the loyalty of an officer. And usually you do it to get them to, and this is the thing, this is a real thing from Sengoku Jidai history. You can get an officer to refuse to march or to stop following orders in the field. But getting them to just flat out leave the clan usually doesn't work. But I think because there is a mechanic where you can entice an officer to defect from their clan without even being captured, just to leave and come to your force, Well, their loyalty when they first join your force will be pretty low because they won't have any established time. So I think they built in something where there's a minimum amount of time you can serve in a clan before the officer will ever leave. And I think that's what we're running into. All right. Now I have to figure out, do I want to pull Nobutomo Akiyama off? And I think the answer is no. Messengers arrive from the Hojo clan. Will you grant an audience? Yes. Negotiation details unlimited. Form a permanent alliance. So, I don't get this one, but it keeps happening. When I was goofing around trying to get Froxis back. We had the tripartite alliance between the Takeda, the Hojo, and the Imagawa. And then the Imagawa lost a battle. Shingen basically just tosses that aside and attacks them from behind. And the Hojo renounced their alliance with the Takeda because the Takeda are obviously not trustworthy. They just turned on, you know, like they're in an alliance with two clans and one of the clans attacks the other, so they turn on the clan that, you know, the Hojo are like, I can't be aligned with this. Now it's like, well, the Imagawa are gone. Other than fighting off the Hojo, like when they attacked us, we never attacked them back. So now it's like, okay, let's form a permanent alliance again. I'm cool with that. They can have the Kanto because I'm going to get Kyoto. Not to mention the fact they haven't really locked down the Kanto yet. So we can win the game without defeating the Hojo. And honestly, if I decide I want to just conquer every castle on the map, which would take forever, we can still beat the Hojo, even though letting them take the Kanto would be annoying. But I want them as an ally because it's going to stop this nonsense with the Satake, and eventually we'll be able to, like, work with them and utilize them to help take out the Uesugi. So we're going to say yes to this for sure. Oh, this is annoying.
We march.
Where are you going? They didn't say they're attacking us. My only hope is that if she gets down here and attacks, and it's a castle battle, that we knock down the rest of the HP of the castle. I guess I can go for that hope. We got foreign stances now wary. Yeah, if we fight a castle battle instead of a field battle, we can charge the castle and knock down the walls because of, what's her name? Oichi. It will more castle surrounded. It's only a matter of time.
Last month's balance.
Spending more than we're making again because of all these castle repairs. And that is not going to stop immediately. But we just picked up Haigo. Kiyoyishi something or other Haigo. Kalinawari Sanada. We don't need to use him. Kalinawari can be the overseer instead. Now we've got a hunting ground, a Hachimangu. Yeah, they're building stuff I wouldn't have built, but the question is, do I want to build a town fair to get this better? Or a rice dealer to increase population, and it's kind of a 6 1/2 dozen. Let's go with a town fair. We do want to improve the roads around all these cities eventually. Particularly because this is such a major city, Okazaki could be a real powerhouse for us if we improve it more. But we're not exactly flush with funds at the moment. So it might be better to just fight that temptation and just use all of our gold for domestic improvements. Shingen heading up here just in case there's trouble to be taken care of, but I'm hoping the situation resolves itself. You guys, as you should be working on troop counts since you're constantly being attacked by little rinky-dink forces. And it seems like the Uesugi have calmed down about their attacks. Like, they took their shot. I can't blame them for that, but now we've got a permanent alliance with the Hojo, which is going to stop this Satake nonsense. Now the only issue is why can't we get Froxis Neeloc back? So let's take a crack. I think I saved in the wrong slot. Alright, well, we'll save here again. I'm messing this up. I'm not properly accounting for the fact that my recorder might eat a video. I made some mistakes there. Doesn't happen often. As a matter of fact, it hasn't happened in a long time. I shouldn't be mentioning it. I'm jinxing it. But once in a blue moon, recording software would just spit out a video that wasn't, just didn't come out properly and isn't usable. So let's return to base. It's only January. I think I need to wait 2 more months to replicate what happened off screen, but yeah, we got worse results than last time. Froxis won't join us, and neither will a bunch of people who would before. I just want to look at the Leota clan. I cannot turn my back on them. To think I would be buried in an enemy's lands. Wow, she's gotten more militaristic about supporting the Leota. So my headcanon is... So Froxis Neeloc fought Nobunaga's own personal unit, and then got defeated by Hanbei Takanaka, who's an incredibly intelligent, skilled guy, and probably, I'm thinking, actually introduced her to Nobunaga personally, and that they spoke with her together and convinced her to join. That she was incredibly confused and hurt because she's got this idea that Takada were kind of invincible, and she can't understand how she could have been defeated and captured, why her Lord Shingen would have sent her out ahead of the rest of the lines. Because she's constantly, in the comments, she does seem to have this, like, really low opinion of herself, even though she's delivering great service. So I would imagine she could get pretty confused and just baffled by the situation. But anyway, she joins the Oda. So now I'm thinking, because Kawan Owari Sanada has actually expressed an interest in what's happening, my headcanon is that his agents have informed him she doesn't seem to be ready to return to the clan. And he knows that if she is officially offered a return to the clan, Shingen has to put her to death if she doesn't take it. So Kawan Owari Sanada has communicated with Shingen and with Natsuko Sasaki. And Natsuko Sasaki's unit, they've set up... They've found lodgings, like a hotel. Like, this is a thing that kept happening in the Shogun novel. I want to say James Clavell. I'm getting his name wrong. But yeah, like, they would always be going to these expensive, like, these inns and stuff, traveling across the country. So all these prisoners are staying at an inn, and, like, the actual Oda prisoners don't really know why, and Froxis Neeloc doesn't know why either, but none of them are being admitted into the city, and they're being told, oh, we don't have the proper accommodations. So the peasants are working on putting together proper accommodations to receive these guests. And they're just hanging around for months at this inn, guarded. They can't leave, but it's that great Eastern thing where there's the unspoken. Like, they're being told that they're guests, and they're being told to travel at their leisure, and, you know, enjoy the baths, and take in the town. But they all know that they're prisoners and that they can't leave. But they're not being actually walked up to the military governor, because Kawan Owari Sanada is, like, personally going to try to talk to Froxis Neeloc and sort her out before she can answer no and get herself killed. That's my headcanon. What's yours? Anyway. We're running low on food. And now, you son of a bitch. This fight better be in front of the castle. Okay.
Let's go.
In some unknown way, Oichi has positioned herself between the castle and our troops. He's just going to stay here so he doesn't lose any more troops.
Come on, let's go. Can you avoid this attack?
I was surprised at that.
Just try to endure this.
I'm going to boost speed and then charge.
Time we show our pride.
Try to win this thing. Oh, yuck! I thought I hit charge, and they're not charging forward. Did they hit a wall? I don't know what happened there. Yeah, but we got to knock down the rest of this wall.
Pulling back.
Just like Nagamasa always likes to pull out, you know, the rhythm method. Sorry, that's not the rhythm method anyway. Okay.
Leave it to me.
So we will take the city. It's a matter of whether Shingen needs to get involved or not. There were guys marching, but they seem to have stopped their march. I think they're, honestly, and this is again, it had me concerned, but from off-screening, they're coming to hang out at Naiki Castle in case I attack it. They're not actually trying to save the Matsudaira here. It was only the Azai that decided they were going to risk their lives for the Matsudaira. This is annoying, but it looks like it is going to be Shingen who has to finish this. So it didn't go as well as it did off screen. Pull back. $683. 225. We are going to win. But it's going to be so flippin' close. And no, I don't usually save scum, but I mean, I've got two people who are role-playing in the comments, and one of them is about to get put to death if I can't figure out a way to get the frickin' RNG to not make them act completely out of character and betray the Tagada, so we'll figure this out. I've obtained a reckless trait from sending Froxis Neeloc off to get captured. Looks like I've gained a flood controller trait somehow.
Let us begin the meeting. Reporting in.
It's only a matter of time before we take this castle, even though I'm out of food and only have a couple hundred troops left.
Here's last month's
Not counting the
balance.
tribals, who will disappear as soon as the core unit is defeated, so...
Reporting in.
Seems I've grown stronger, I will soon command the nation. Of domination. Do, 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 do. Okay, so we've got new facilities can be built. It's, you know, I like Kabuki Theater. So let's get Tadakatsu working on a Kabuki Theater so that he can later sue them. Trying to think, what do I want to do? Castle improvements or road improvements? Road improvements. Let's start some road improvements here. No, I didn't mean to do that. What the hell? Oh, Grimmeth Reaper's the guy for this. I don't know why he's not an overseer somewhere. He'll get it done cheaper too, which is actually my main concern. Alright, how about... we get Vulture Bean working on this. That's going to take a while, though. Okay. That was the most labor-effective way to do it, although probably I should have done smaller chunks. Because now these guys will be occupied for a long time. But by the time this is done, I'll have the best possible roads in these cities. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean I'll have a full path of the best quality roads all the way up. It just means that the ones that actually affect the growth of those cities will be maxed by the time we're done with all this. Uncle Baldo will be the one bringing this big public works project home. Oh, I had more facilities to build that I didn't realize. Well, we can get stables going. Always willing to build another stables. Okay, now we can use what's left, which ain't much. Spent a lot of money there on development. I don't want to sell food. We need to win these few battles and then slow down. We're not going to be attacking. I got to finish the Matsudaira. I don't think I'm going to be moving against the Saito just yet, or attacking the Oda. We need to consolidate, but we also need to get Froxis back and our force alive. All right. Probably time to call it a video, but let's just see if Froxis is going to continue to be a pain in the butt here. No, Hyundai Takanaka would be a really nice guy to get, but Froxis, she just ain't doing it. Sworn loyalty to the Oda clan. This is her third execution. To think I'll be buried in enemy's lands. Well, if things go the same way they did off screen, she'll join next time. I don't know why she's being so difficult, but she is. All right. When we come back next time, I think we'll be able to get Froxis Neeloc to join. It's just it's going to take some time for her to work through whatever's going on in her head. And in that great tradition, it's an Asian tradition as opposed to more the European tradition. The unspoken. You say one thing and you mean another. That sounds like duplicitous, but it's not. It's like it's different. It's cultural. It's like you have to refuse 3 times ritually when offered a chance to become the emperor. Otherwise, you're showing the wrong attitude. So even if everyone knows that you want to be the emperor, you have to ritually refuse. She has it in her head that she has to, you know, she can't just go back to the Takeda. So Colin Owari Sanada is like, he's on his way, he's going to debate her. It's going to be like Zhang Liao on the hill with Guan Yu. He's got to get there and talk her into not surrendering her own life. Hopefully he can do it next time. Even though he's also doing road work. He's a very busy man. And his reward is that he will not see the Matsudaira killed as he desires. But, you know, maybe seeing them work for the Takeda will be good enough. Who knows? Actually, Shingen probably manages to get all of his sons pissed off, have them all fight each other. He ends up being the Taiko. He rules until he dies, and then everything falls apart, and Ieyasu takes over anyway, in all likelihood. But who knows what will happen. We'll win the game before that happens. Bye for now.